welcome to the 7th episode of the Twinset and Purl Knitting Podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jo.
And we're Twinset and Purl together designing on Ravelry. And we have a Ravelry group called the Twinset and Purl Knitting Podcast. You can find us on Instagram as Twinset and Purl. And I'm the youngest Butler twin for my personal account.
And I'm Jojo Butler on Instagram.
And Ravelry, aren't you?
Jojo B on Ravelry.
Okay. And I'm Twinset and Purl on Ravelry. And all of that information will be in our show notes, which you can find down below on the little arrow thing.
The drop down,
At
see
the-
more.
Okay, at the
Whichever
bottom,
one you're looking at.
at the bottom of the video. Anyway,
They're all in
today.
a slightly different place actually, depending on
Okay.
where you,
What you
which
watch it on.
method you're watching
Okay.
on. But, yeah.
So today we are filming from Tenerife,
I'm quite excited.
Golf de Sur,
Yeah.
Tenerife, at Jo's timeshare. So we've been here for a week. We fly home tomorrow, so we thought we'd wait until we were slightly different colour than when we arrived, even though
Oh, sorry.
I don't sunbathe anymore. But yeah, we had a lovely time, and we might tell you a bit more about it at the end. Not that we've done that much, but
Why don't we talk about it now?
okay. Crumbs.
Have I? I've eaten crisps.
Well, the first thing to say is the diet's gone out the window this week, and we have had some lovely desserts and ice creams and
We found a
meals
really
altogether.
nice ice cream stand
Yeah.
in
Las
Las
Americas.
Americas.
Went there twice in 2 days. The lady didn't recognise me, so I felt okay, but we did have the same flavour twice. Meringue and caramel, it was amazing. We've done a lot of swimming, and
The day out, we went to Tede, which is the big volcano mountain in Tenerife. Unfortunately, it was full. We didn't. Oh,
We
the
weren't
cable car
organised
was
enough.
full. We weren't organised enough to actually go to the top. Although we weren't all convinced that we wanted to go.
I wasn't convinced.
So we decided. Anyway, fate happened for us, and we didn't get to go. But we had a nice coffee and a cake
Yeah.
at in the cafe. A little look around the tourist shop, which is always a must. And
We drove back
yeah,
down, and
nice day
my
with-
husband's still driving.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very brave because some of the roads were incredibly, well, they weren't hardly big enough for one car, let
Yeah.
alone 2 cars, and we did meet like a Range Rover at one point. But it all went well, and we got
Yeah.
back safe and sound.
And it made a change because when Chris and I usually come, we don't hire a car. We don't do very much at all. We usually just lie by the pool and go for a few walks.
That is the balcony, the canopy going back over because it's too windy. You might have noticed our hair's blowing around, and we might have to put our sunglasses on if we grimace too much then.
Yeah, if we squint.
And hopefully the colours will look.
Whoa!
The other thing that might happen is an aeroplane might go over,
There we go, on cue.
so we're going to be quiet while that happens, and then hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. They go really quick, so. Right, so we're going to try and quickly trudge through. We haven't got much with us.
No, we've got a few things.
And I was going to show some pictures, but I don't have them because we're recording from my camera, my phone. So I'll just talk about those in the next episode when we get back, fill you in on all the sock designs that have been
Yeah, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity to
podcast
film
from
in
the sun. So now you can see the sun a bit more. So let's start with finished objects.
You go
So
first.
I'll
'cause
go
yours is
first.
the oldest finished object.
Mine's,
or oldest,
yeah.
was the oldest whip.
And I have finally finished my, you might have seen on Instagram, my Morton Street cowl, which now you can see the sparkle in the sunshine. I knitted this in Chester wool lace with stellina held double. Just put it on. I wore this on the plane coming over, and it's lovely. I wore it with my denim jacket,
You need
and
to go back a tiny bit.
Yeah,
I
I need
think.
to. to be able to grab it if the wind blows.
Yeah.
Hopefully we haven't made you feel seasick then. Yeah, so I love it. And it won't be my last, my first, well, it won't be my first, it is my first one. It won't be my last one. My goodness, forget words.
Well, I'm on, I don't know how many, I can't remember how many I've knit now. So my first finished object is the cowl that I was designing for my friend. It was just in the
You hadn't joined the
reverse stocking stitch and this little twisted stitch down the front stage when I showed it last time. And I've added this slip stitch border. So there's some rib and then a garter ridge and then this slip
Hold it a
stitch.
little bit closer.
Chevron design.
I love it.
I think when I actually, if I write it up and publish it, I'm probably going to make this bit, this one come a bit closer.
Right.
Because what happened was I designed one thing and ended up knitting another, and it didn't quite happen how I planned. But when it's on, that bit actually looks quite Celtic.
Right.
I think. If you can see that bit. It looks quite,
Yeah, it does look slightly bare, but
yeah.
I do like
But
it.
it kind of, because the tension is slightly different on just the stockinette bit rather than the, it kind of gives it a slightly different shape, I think.
Yeah.
And I got that, and hopefully my friend is going to like it.
I'm sure she will. It's beautiful
I'm
yarn.
posting that to her when we get back.
Can you remember what the yarn was?
The yarn is a Giddy Aunt yarn.
I don't know if you can
there.
see it in the sunlight, but it's stunning.
It
got
was,
these
it
beautiful-
was one of their crowdfunder yarns for their inspiring yarns.
It's got these beautiful pops of violet and bright
Yeah.
blue. I love it. I
Really
am
nice.
very sad that you knitted it for somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
So that's my first whip, my first depot.
right, so you've
And I've got one more.
I've got two more socks. I've got
Okay.
socks. So go with cowls. and
Okay,
I'll-
so I was not meant to be designing any more cowls, but I
No.
really wanted to know if you could do a crescent shape. So this shape is effectively symmetrical triangle shawl. So you increase either side of the central stitch and then either side of the central stitch at the back, and you get that triangle shape. But I absolutely love a crescent shawl. And that, when you do a crescent shawl, you're basically knitting like a yoke on a
Yeah.
you're knitting like a yoke on a sweater. So you increase into every stitch right at the beginning, and then you have staggered deep increases down the garment depending on how long it is. So that was knit. The increase there. At this point was knit 2, make 1. Then you have knit 3, make 1. Knit 4, make 1, and they're staggered so that you get that circular yoke shape.
Try it on.
So then on a crescent you also increase on the edge as well. So I came up with this design to
So
try.
do you
Now,
increase on the edge until you join it?
I increase all the time on the edge.
Well, that's really cute, isn't it? Not quite so.
So I think it needs a little bit more on the edge to keep it flat.
It looks alright.
Maybe another row of the, so that's, anyway, let me just, it does work, so that's good.
What yarn did you use?
So I used a yarn that I dyed on one of our dyeing tests. And I dyed it, it was like a plain white yarn, and I dyed it this sort of neutral beigey colour, which actually has a bit of a stripy tonal look to it. And then I did speckles of dark green, black and purple.
So did you do 2 skeins?
Now I did one skein of that. Yeah, well there's
I'd
still half a skein left.
like a skein of that.
Yeah, and then the dark green is the Surrey alpaca from La Bien-Aimée, which is
Oh no,
Yona, colourway
Colourway.
Yona.
it's lovely and it's so soft.
And so I was looking at another pattern, and I saw this slip stitch where you basically yarn over, knit two, pass the slip stitch, pass the yarn over the top. So it's all, the one I saw was all done in one colour, but I was like, could you do that in 2 colours and have the detail shown through? So that's that stitch, and you go knit one way and then purl back and do it on the purl side as well. And then there's a little bump which is and knit 2 together and make, then on the next row you make one on the yarn in between the stitches, and it's just some corrugated rib and then repeated. And then this is the slip stitch yarn over pattern in one colour. And then I joined it in the round, which meant I had to work out how to do the purl way of this yarn over
on the right side.
on the right side. And
So clever.
I have done it, and when I publish it I will do a little video to show you how to do it, because
Brilliant.
it's a little bit fiddly, but it works really well. And then some more corrugated rib, and then this edge is just one of these bumps, and then a Icelandic bind off.
Brilliant.
But I think if I maybe did 2 or 3 of those bumps,
Yeah.
it would sit flatter.
I think it sits fine.
But I
And
really
it's-
like it, and it's actually a bit smaller
Yeah, it's
than...
quite cute for it's like
That looks really...
it does. It's really on. Right. Now you can okay. So I've actually finished 3 pairs of socks, but I can't talk about one of them because it's May's Sock Club, which will be coming out in
2 weeks.
just over 2 weeks time. Anyway, I finished my April self-striping socks, and these are knitted in the Dotty Wool excuse me, the Dotty Wool Company. I can't remember the month. but
One of
it's
their friends.
One of their friends clubs, and the heels and toes are done in some knit crate yarn with stellina in, called, the colourway is Apple, and you can't get it anymore because it was from ages ago, but I love the stellina in the sun.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I finished those. It's 2.
And
I finished them on the last day.
Yeah, your kitchen had the toe on the 1st of
Oh,
May,
it did,
didn't you,
yeah.
I think? But
I did,
all the knitting was done in April.
yeah, and I did save the last sock for the second sock for the journey, the flight over. So I could have done it before, but I wanted to save it so I had some vanilla knitting for.
Yeah.
And this one I've only got one of. There are 2 in the world. One is with Sophie already, and this is the Spring in the Yorkshire Wolds pattern that I designed for her self-striping yarn for her Kickstarter. So if you pledge for the self-striping yarn, then you'll get this pattern, and it is exclusive. I'm not sure if I'll ever be releasing the pattern to everybody. I need to talk to Sophie about that, but it's not too difficult. It's just a cable with a kind of moss stitch cable going down the front, and this came as a sock. That would come as a sock set. So that's the yarn, the self-striping, and that's the lovely.
And that's
pale
called Spring
pink.
in the York. That colourway is
That
called
colourway
Spring
is
in the Yorkshire Wolds.
Yeah.
Cool.
And put that back in there. And they have been living in my beautiful La Bien-Aimée Oh Wow Amsterdam bag that Joe bought me for Christmas. With that Oh Wow Amsterdam.
That's him.
With this La Bien-Aimée pin by Ray Gasson. And I love it. It's perfect. I've had all my whips in it while we've been here, and I've taken one at a time out, put them into the project bag to finish. So yeah, that's my finished objects.
Cool. Shall I start with my whip?
Yes, you start with your whips.
How many have you got? So I've got 2 whips. I've got a sock for my friend that I promised I'm going to knit
you
by the
showed
end
the
of
yarn.
May. Did I show the yarn?
You did show the yarn because you were doing
And this is in my... I got it at Ted
It's Ted Knits UK.
Ted Knits UK, but his sister makes the bags. I can't remember what her...
She's Dolly.
That's her
Something.
logo, which is really cute.
I think she's called Dolly.
Yeah.
She's on. We can put it in this. We'll put it in the show notes.
So this is the yarn, Stoppel Admiral Melange, and this is the colourway.
Didn't reach the side. It was caramel.
Caramel.
Father Camel.
Father
Camel.
Camel.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Because there's no camel in it. There's
Oh,
only,
right, yeah. Anyway, it's this brown, beigey colour.
That looks like camel, I would
yeah.
say.
And my friend wanted socks to wear in her walking boots. So I'm knitting the Goat's Eye sock pattern by Tracy Miller from the Grocery Girls, and I'm absolutely loving it. Now I started these the day we got here, and it's got this lovely long cuff with like a mock cable, and then it goes into this cross design.
Mandy watch.
Mandy does watch. She chose the. I've already shown you the pattern I'm going to use. And I've done the heel, and I'm now on the foot. So
You've gone up on either side.
I've gone up on either side. So these are my new higher flyers, and I was always knitting on a 2.5, but my tension is really, I'm a really tight knitter. So I've gone up to a 2.75, and it is changed, like it doesn't hurt my hands anymore. I'm absolutely loving it. So that's obviously the way to go. Unfortunately, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, but I've got two one sock project where I'm going to need to knit two other socks on 2.5 to match. And then, so I can't just knit one on 2.75, it could be different sizes. So I am going to knit them because I love the yarn, but this is
You added a repeat, didn't you?
Yeah, I added one repeat to the leg because they're going in boots.
And you did have a comment about you did the heel, didn't you?
I did Tracy's heel, but I'm not convinced on the heel, but
it's Tracy's favourite.
It is what it is. And with Mandy will have to go with it because
you did what you were told.
Yeah. So that's those, and I'm absolutely loving it. I say these new needles,
and you will finish them,
have changed my world. I'm going to Scotland at the end of May for my husband to run the Edinburgh Half Marathon, and that's when I'm seeing my friend. So he will be going with me.
And you're not driving up, so you can always finish them on the plane.
But no, because I want them blocked and everything.
Oh, okay.
And
that's a good idea. You could let us know in the comments below what brand are your favourite sock blockers.
Because I don't have any sock blockers.
Because Jo doesn't have any. I have some from Knit Pro, and I have some wire ones I bought from the Loop, which I quite like. But we'd be very interested to know. I like those wooden ones with a design in, but I just don't want to buy ones that aren't sanded down properly or anything like that. So I need a good brand. So if anyone can recommend a good brand of sock blockers, that would be really good for us.
Yeah. So that's whip number.
Shall I do my sock bit?
Yep.
And then
we've got towels. Yeah.
Then we can talk about the can as well. So my sock whip is my May self-striping socks, and I'm knitting these in Funky Fibres, and it's a 50-gram skein of Dolly and Donkey's Day at the Beach. So it's these lovely yellows and teals, and we're just getting into pink and violet. Don't know how well the colours are showing up. The screen is now.
It's quite good.
Yeah, so and I've got this bright yellow from Botanical Yarns, just a mini of some colourway. For my, I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely going to do heels. I might do stripy toes, and I've got a progress keeper that I made. Just it's a little like a little stone enamel bead. It's quite cute. And it's living in a little bag that I bought here in Las Americas, and it looks like it's from this shop, Mini Sew, and it looks like a little long shawl. It's got a little handle, and I got you a red one.
Yeah.
And of course mine's navy blue. It's such a great colour. So yeah, so those are my socks for my stripy socks for May, and one of my acquisitions. Cool.
Am I going next?
Yeah, you go next.
Cool. So I'm knitting another Morton Street cowl, and it's being kept in my Botanical Yarns and Twinset and Purl sock club bag, which is perfect for squishing down inside a carry-on bag. So this is so far I've got. I've joined in the round. And
This is your flight knitting, isn't it?
yeah, I'm
On
about.
bamboo needle.
I guess I'm about halfway through the round section of the round, and then I've got the border. Now I put these on bamboo needles from Clover to have on the flight because I didn't want them to take away my metal needles if they would, be in their bonnet about metal needles. But I have to say that I've noticed that I knit a lot tighter.
Even more tighter?
Yeah, even tighter on bamboo than I do the metal. I've eased off slightly, I think. But I think it's still going to have a drapey.
When you block it, you can see it
Yeah.
is, because mine's actually, I knitted mine on one needle size one smaller than you said in the pattern, because I just started, and after I blocked it, it's much considerably more drapey.
But this yarn is the
other skein, isn't it, of the
It's
fibre?
the Fibre Space gleam lace, gleam lace.
All right.
Gleam it says on there. It says gleam on that. Gleam. and it's the colourway Tweed Imps.
It's beautiful.
And when you see it in the ball, I don't notice the green quite so much, but when I've knit it, I'm noticing the green coming through. And because I'm holding two strands together to get the fingering weight yarn that's required for the pattern, no two colours have been the same together, and it's just so nice to knit because you get a little pop of green and red, and then a little pop of pink and red, and green and purple, and it's just been so nice to knit with. This is going to be a gift. I'm really enjoying it, and it's been perfect. Perfect airport and aeroplane knitting.
So I'm going to I've got two acquisitions. One of them I'm using right now, and one with a little gift from Joe. So we might as well talk about acquisitions because we haven't got any other ones.
Else.
So this was I brought this one with me to show you. This is a little project bag from the Stitchy Platypus, who is in America somewhere, and I can't remember, but I will put it in there. She's got an Etsy shop, and there's a bit of a story about this because I saw her bags on Instagram and went to have a look, and I loved it. And unfortunately, she didn't ship to the UK. So then I messaged and said, "Oh, I love your bags, but you don't ship to the UK." So she went and set up the UK shipping just for me. So I then thought, oh my goodness, I really need to go and buy something now. It was a couple of weeks later, and I'd obviously bought something in between. So I did go into the shop, but the bag was still there. So I actually bought the bigger version of this, the medium size. This is a small size. So I bought the medium size, and when it arrived, she'd written me a note and say that when she looked at the cost of the shipping to the UK, she thought it was so much that she decided to give me a gift, this little bag as well. So Renee, I love your bags, and thank you so much for sending me two, because this pattern and the navy blue polka dots was just perfect. Killing it for me. So, and it's really cool because inside it's got 4 little pockets, and it's lined in the same thing, and it's just perfect for, and it's got a handle. Yeah, so in it is my whip, which is the pressed bandana cowl, one of Joe's designs. That is part of our cowl. I talked about this on the last episode, but I have made quite a lot of progress. In fact, I've only got one repeat left to do.
Yeah, because you were a bit worried how it would.
Yeah, so now I think with the dark black, with the proper black on the end,
Yeah, that's
it's going to look like light and dark, and that also is round by your face anyway. So yeah, so I've got one repeat left to do and the border. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a tassel first with the black.
Mine doesn't have a tassel.
No,
on
I
it.
don't think I'm going to make a tassel. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. This yarn is 100% merino, and it's called also from Shoppel, and it's Zauber Purlin. And if you go online, I might try and find a link to where you can buy it. I bought mine from Ida's house, so we'll link that. But it's
knitting place.
Yeah, there's a lot
colours.
of different colours. I think maybe that, more have come out, and Ida's house will have them as well, because obviously that's in the UK, so it's slightly easier. But you can see on there the gradient of the colours. And I'm on the last not black one. So I've got one and then black left to do. So I shall hopefully get that finished today and all off the needles before we fly home. And then my last acquisition was a gift that Joe bought me for Easter but forgot to bring when they came to stay. And this is a little ornament of a rabbit, a little flower, and we've called her Mabel. Is she called Mabel? Is she called Mabel? No, we've called her Mabel.
We've called her Mabel.
She's got a
I
cute
think she could be Purl.
She could be Purl. Should we call her Purl? Yeah, she's got a cute little tail. And
We don't have a Purl.
somebody has knit this cute little jumper. They've picked up stitches for the sleeves. It's just incredibly cute. Where did you get her from?
I got her from a little shop in a place called Wapping Wharf in Bristol, where they sell ethically made products. So they source products from Africa, India, and then help the people who are making them to give them a proper wage.
I mean, even the flower, it's got leaves. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's living in my project bag, so she likes it there.
And they had one which was the Queen for the Platinum Jubilee, but unfortunately didn't look enough like the Queen for me. I was, yeah. But no, it had to be a bunny, didn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah. Cool. So this one, I
So
think,
what else has happened? Disco Bunny's come out.
yep.
Yeah, we launched Disco Bunny at the weekend. So if you want to check out Ravelry and have a look at that pattern.
I've had the April socks have come out. I don't know if they hadn't come out. In fact, no, they hadn't. Eloise is coming out tomorrow. Benedict had come out. So Eloise is the 4th pattern in the British in Season 2 sock collection. And unfortunately, did I show them last time? I think I might have, yeah. So if you look back at the last episode, you'll be able to see what they actually look like. I will put a link down below. I'll add a link tomorrow as soon as I've published them. I'll add a link to I'll put in a link to the ebook, which is all of the patterns. And then just started the Colin sock test knit. Colin's my favourite. We love Colin, and I really hope everybody else loves Colin, because I have to say he's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
He's my
his
favourite.
sock
Colin's
is
my favourite.
His sock is beautiful. Yeah, so I'll be showing some sneak peeks of that on Instagram this week, and then the full reveal will be at the weekend.
Yeah. The Allium test knit finishes this week,
So that'll be coming out.
that'll be coming out soon. And then both of the cowls, the Talsano cowl and the Ginger Ale cowl, the test knit for them starts on Saturday.
So that'll be out by the end of the
They'll
month.
be out hopefully by the end of the month. Yeah, so lots happening in May.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'm very busy working on the next few months socks for Botanical.
Yeah. And May is
Yarn
actually our
Kickstarter.
anniversary of publishing patterns.
It is.
So off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe
We did a buy one get one free
yeah,
last
but
year.
maybe we don't do an offer. Maybe what we'll do is give some money to charity for every pattern sold.
Right.
So obviously for the charity patterns, it's all the money,
Yeah.
but we could give £1 to charity
Yeah. We could easily do
for
that.
every pattern that we sell in May, and that could go to Flower Power,
Yeah.
which is the sock pattern that Rachel's just launched
Tete-a-tete socks.
for
Marie Curie.
Marie Curie. I'll just get the right one, sorry. There's 2 cancer charities in the UK, or 3 or 4 that
Start
begin with an M, and I get confused.
So, Flower Power Fund is a project that's run by a doctor who works for them, who's a knitter called Sarah, and she has organised over the past few years yarn dyers and sock designers to design patterns and yarn dyers to dye yarn, and some of the money goes to the Flower Power Fund, and people also knit socks in the pattern.
Yeah.
So this year they are taking a hiatus from the main organising, but Sophie from Botanical Yarns wanted to dye. She was inspired by last year, but it was too late to join in, so she dyed up the sock set, which is for the tete-a-tete socks. And if you buy that from her, you get the pattern, and I think £6.90 is being donated. If you buy the sock pattern from us, from Ravelry, all of the money goes to, so it's £3.50, and the same from Sophie. If you buy the pattern, all the money goes to Flower Power Fund. So it would be great if we could really boost the pattern sales and raise a lot of money, because it is a really, really good cause.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a cancer survivor, and I can only imagine what it's like. And they support other people. It's just people who need have terminal illness, so it's not necessarily cancer, but you know, it's something that when you have cancer you do think about. But fortunately, I've done really well and had good treatment.
And the people who I know who've had to have their services have said they're just amazing.
Yeah. So I think
they changed their life. They changed the lives of the people who were left behind.
Yeah. So it's a really good charity to sponsor. So that's what we're gonna do. So from this month, £1 from every, and if anybody buys the ebook, we'll give £3 towards the alcohol. Yeah. Cool. So so we've got some exciting things coming up. Jo's got lots of cowl designs for you coming. I've got lots of socks. I've got a sweater and a sock coming out called Amethyst Glow at the end of May at the actual in-person Yorkshire Yarn Fest, and I'm really hoping I'll be there. Currently I'm on double the painkillers for my shingles pain in my hip, which means I don't feel like 100% responsible to drive at the moment, but hopefully by the time it's the end of May, so hopefully in a few weeks' time I've got used to them enough to be able to drive, and I will be there. So if you're planning on coming, come along to the Botanical Yarn booth and say hello.
I'm going to be in Edinburgh,
Yes.
watching my husband run.
So Jo's going to be having FOMO.
So, yes, most definitely. You better get me something.
Of course I'll get you something. Not yarn, but something. Anyway, I'm getting quite hot.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'm also quite hungry. So,
but it's been great to do a little shortish podcast from here. So
yeah, we're having a lovely time, and it's so. I mean, this is mainly a week for me and Jo to spend time together.
Yeah,
so we've had a lovely
great time.
And hope you're all well. And if you like our videos, we'd like you to subscribe. I know everyone says that, but it really means a lot. And once you get to certain levels, you can do. There's more things you can do on YouTube, and we'd really like our little podcast to be a success. So if you like us, tell your friends and like and subscribe to the video. And we will see you all back in the UK, maybe even next weekend. You're coming to stay, or the weekend after?
14th.
The weekend after, we are 14th. Yeah, I'm blabbering now. We haven't
discussed this, but
no.
I'm going to come for at least a day, so we could probably fit a podcast in.
Depending on, I'm hoping to finish my sweater by then.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to finish my sweater by then too. So
And
are we allowed to show them?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
We showed them.
That can be the challenge then, can't
We talked all about the colours before.
Yeah, that can be the challenge.
Yeah.
Finish our sweaters by the 14th.
Yeah.
Podcast.
And then I've got a sock to finish as well. A pair of socks.
Yeah, but I've got to do a full-time job next week.
Okay, fair enough. Everyone feels sorry for Jo.
Well, come on.
I know.
It's going to be hardship having been here for a week to go back and do.
Yeah.
Anyway, for a bank, joy. I know. I love working for the bank.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been doing it for a long time, and I love it. But we'd all like to be part-time,
It's
wouldn't
not
we?
quite the
Let's
same as
face it.
this.
No,
Cool.
and we'd all
So-
like to have more time to knit. I think that's
Yeah.
everybody's wish in life.
So I might try and add some pictures of the scenery at the
Yeah,
end,
we'll try.
but if not, we will. Well, the wind's getting up again.
Yeah,
Hopefully you've been able to hear all of that, everything we've said, and we will listen to it again before we
yeah,
publish it. So hopefully it gets out into the internets.
yeah.
So yeah, take care and see you back in the UK.